absolutely wild last 10 minutes. Had a doe work this trail come across this creek and get 10 yards in front of me. She worked up the hill a bit, then I hear something coming where she came from, and it's the freaking buck I'm after. Today's Tuesday, September 17th, and I am in one of my absolute favorite stands. I am on the small private piece of property that I have in Minnesota. It's a little 8-acre chunk, and I'm after a particular buck tonight. He's a buck that I was after in here last year, but I just didn't get really a chance to hunt him because it's the same stand where I killed my buck last year, and you only get one buck in Minnesota, so once I killed that buck, I kept tabs on him just through trail cameras throughout the season. He was here all season. And this summer, he was pretty much doing the exact same thing as last year, except this year, he's a little more active in daylight. A number of conditions working in my favor tonight. I hadn't checked this camera in about a month, and today it was storming out. I came in and I checked it, and just while it was torrentially downpouring, and actually this buck has been showing up kind of in daylight on like a 2 to 3 day pattern. So when he shows up, he's usually coming by 2 to 3 nights in a row, and he came by during shooting hours last night. So I am on absolutely pins and needles. Why this spot is so good is I'm in a perfect transition area. To my west is a road pretty close by, and then there's a bunch of apple trees and a bunch of oak trees up there, and that's kind of like their main feeding. And then to the east, I've got is where these bucks are bedding. But right here, about 20 yards from my stand, I have one lone oak tree that's just dropping acorns like crazy. So they come through here and use it as a staging area before going out by the houses and stuff at night. And so this spot is just perfect. When they show up, they usually show up in the last half hour. It's exactly how it worked with my buck that I killed last year. And then on top of that, I've got the same conditions as last night when this buck showed up. So rained all day today. It's been crappy, and the weather just broke. We got a southeast wind, which is it literally couldn't be any more perfect for me. And it was a southeast wind last night when this buck showed up in daylight. So I'm really, really hopeful. This buck, I've never named him for whatever reason, but I actually started getting pictures of him on this property in 2015, and then I had moved, didn't hunt this property for a few years, got permission on it again last year, and he was still around. So my math is right. I think this buck is at least an 8.5-year-old. So my work's definitely cut out for me. But why I really like this setup, it's kind of an unconventional setup. So I know where they're coming from, and I don't really have any good trees to put a stand in to have cover. So I'm on the back side of a tree, so I have to stand and face where they come from. But as soon as I see them coming, I can grab my bow right here in front of me, and then I got my camera right here, so all I have to do is turn the camera on, grab my bow, and it's just right here. I've got a little bit of cover. I can kind of hide behind the tree right here, so they're going to be coming from this way. So it all just kind of adds up really nicely. So I've got my fingers crossed, I've got my toes crossed, and if I don't shoot them tonight, I probably won't be in here again for at least 4 or 5 days. It's supposed to get hot for a while, and I don't want to overhunt this stand. So last time I was in here, I killed a buck, and let's see if I can do the same thing tonight. After my top buck in Minnesota again tonight. Just got set up here. It's about 4 in the afternoon. Today's Thursday, Today's Thursday, October 24th, and I'm back on my small little 8-acre piece of private after that big old mature buck I've been after kind of all year. Then he went missing for the first couple weeks of October, but I checked cams on Monday, and he showed up here last week, actually during shooting hours. So Today is sunny, high pressure day. It's kind of chilly. It's about mid-30s. The last couple of days have been just torrential downpours, heavy winds. I actually had the power go out of my house. So it's been some nasty weather and it all passed through today. So I'm got my hopes up that he shows up tonight. Got a due west wind, which is kind of crossing my left to right. So if he comes where he's bedded, where I hope he's bedded from the south, it should be perfect. So I'm gonna settle in here. I have about 2 hours till dark, and hopefully he shows up tonight. Absolutely wild last 10 minutes. Had a doe work this trail come across this creek and get 10 yards in front of me. She worked up the hill a bit, then I hear something coming where she came from, and it's the freaking buck I'm after. I think he caught me moving just in the camera. It's pretty thick right here. I saw him with my binos. Turned the camera and then he turned and bounded up the hill. And then something else chased this doe right back behind me. He was a pretty nice buck too.